Geometry Dash is a game with lots of levels, and with lots of levels comes lots of coins, some of which absolutely terrible. So what I've decided is I want to fix all the coins in Geometry Dash. Now I know a lot of YouTubers have done this before, however they use move triggers and stuff, but I wanted to keep these coins as natural as possible to keep them on par with the updates that they were in. I decided not to go with key coins and whatnot because I know a lot of people do that. I just wanted to make some decent coins that are easy to understand, however, are an improvement to the original. So I'm going to go over all the levels in order of level succession in the base game to show you basically what they are. So let's go ahead and get started. Now for the the fourth now for the first coin and back on track, let me just get a disclaimer here. The coins in Stereo Madness, Deadlocked, and Finger Dash are already all good coins, so I don't need to fix any of them on the level. Now, I'm going off of inspiration from the coin tier list video by GD Colon. However, he already fixed the coins in base after base and dash, so those coins aren't fixed either. But all the other coins have at least one coin fixed. Now, in base after base's case, 2 of the 3 coins have been fixed. The first and second coins have been fixed on this level, so we're going to go ahead and go over them. So the first coin was met with a very simple change. Previously, there was a blue pad that you would just fall down and pick up the coin for free, just like that. So what I did was I added some platforms here, and made it so that you would jump into this little hole right here, and then jump out to get the coin. It isn't really the best design for a fix of the coin, but it is definitely a lot more difficult, and it makes it so that it isn't easier than the main path, because, needless to say, the other coin was easier than the main path. I mean, you just fall down, get the coin, and it's yours. But with this one, you can get it fairly easily. Alright, moving on to the second coin. Let me just go ahead and put a start position here. What I wanted to do, it was actually pretty difficult. Um, it was actually pretty difficult trying to come up with a design for this. Originally, I just stuck the hole where it used to be, and I just added some spikes. But for this one, I think it's a bit nicer and a lot better looking. So basically, you just swoop in, get the coin, swoop out, and then it's yours. It's really satisfying. And sometimes you can mess up like that. But you have to be kind of like precise in the swoop. Yeah, that is the official name of swoop to get the coin. Also, a quick disclaimer, sorry if I'm sounding a bit shuddery. It is kind of cold in my room right now, so yeah, but the third coin is unchanged, so we're going to go ahead and move on to Polargeist. Okay, so for Polargeist, all 3 coins have been changed. So we're going to start with the first one. So originally you would just hold at the top, and then you would get the coin and it's yours. For this one, I decided so that you had to basically make a like a well-timed swoop to get the coin. And you can't just hold here. I mean, you can, but what I was planning on going for is that you had to precisely hit this part right here. I think actually moving the coin over here would be nice. See, you have to like swoop in and get it. And these basically prevent you from going into there a bit easier. So yeah, that's the fixed coin. Did have to tweak it a little bit, but it's much better than what the coin was originally. Alright, second coin. So I decided to incorporate Colin's idea of using a jump ring or a jump orb here. And I just made it a bit more on par with the rest of the platforming. It is a bit odd having it like this, but I think it is a bit better than the other version because it looked kind of weird. But this one has a very sleek looking design. It's a very simple change. All right, now for the third coin. I know this is going to be a bit controversial, but what I did with the third coin was I made it so that you have to jump on these two platforms, have like a sort of well-timed jump between them, and I actually moved the platform down so that it still resembles the little cap that the original coin had. Honestly, now that I think of it, I don't know why I kept that, but it's still there. And then you jump down, get the coin, and it's yours. You don't have to do any awkward maneuvering at all. Just an easy coin route. All right, now on to dry out. All right, so with dry out, the first two coins have been fixed. So we're gonna start with the first one. So originally with the first coin, you would just fall down like this and just hold, and the coin is yours, and the coin wasn't even visible. But as you could see, I made the coin visible, and I also made it so that you had to sort of jump very intricately. You have to sort of jump from this platform. You can't just fall down. You have to do a sort of intricate jump, and then jump after that, and then you slide on this platform, and then do a well-timed jump onto this pad, and then it launches you back. So that you can't really hold. I mean, you can hold, but it's a bit of it's definitely I don't know. All right, now moving on to the second coin. Now I know the second coin didn't really need this much of a change, but I did it anyway because I saw an opportunity, and it's a bit of a simple change. I basically just added an extra jump to the platform. So basically over here, you have to sort of time your jump well enough to get the coin land on the platform. It's definitely a simple change, and some might say it's a bit unnecessary, but I like it. And even if you're not going for the coin, it's still visible on the main path. I know the editor version does zoom out a bit, but whoops, my phone battery's low. Hang on, give me a second. Okay. So yeah, it's still visible on the main path, and it's still nice and pure, so yeah. So base after base is already done, so we're going to move on to Can't Let Go. Now in Can't Let Go, the first and third coins have been changed, and the second coin is unchanged. So what I did with the first coin was, I still had it so where you fall down, but with this one, the coin is visible, so you're like, how do I get that? And then you fall down, I think it's like here, I guess. Wait, hang on. Okay, I am so sorry. This coin fix was made quite a while ago, so I didn't notice that cheese root. But yeah, basically I removed the whatever platforms. I removed these from the path here because I thought it was just a bit cheap to add 1.3 platforms in with a 1.0 style level. And I also removed the jump pads on the two and kept it so that you could actually, jump to get the coin. I know it's kind of cheap that you have to hold, but it's better than the pad. I think it would actually be better if this block was removed so that you don't have to hold. Hang on, let me just see if I these tweaks might come as well. Some packs some coin paths might have their parts tweaked because I haven't gone to these in a while, so just bear that in mind. Now moving on to the third coin, as you can see, the second coin's unchanged. Now the third coin was probably one of the most difficult coin changes. So yeah, you still go through the same area, but as you can see, you actually have to do a bit of challenge to get it, and there's no pink orb like there was on the last coin. Well, on the previous coin. Well, the coin before this update. So yeah, you still have to jump through those blocks, but the recovery is much more smooth, and as you could see, it does kind of block the way a little bit, but not as much as the pink orb does, as the pink pad does. You're not like glued to it, basically, and you can actually fall down. Um, I think you can. Can you? Hang on, give me a second. See, you can barely fall down through it, but honestly, I feel like it'd just be better if I just shifted this path over just a few little pixels. Like I said before, I haven't touched this level in a while, so any changes are going to be inevitable. But in the levels that I made much more recently, electrodynamics, these changes aren't really going to be necessary at all. So yeah, that's the third coin. So now let's move on to Jumper. All right. So the first coin of Jumper was met with a very simple change. Basically you just get the coin like that. There is no fake wall or anything. It's just sort of like an easier transition. So yeah, you just kind of swoop and get the coin. It is a bit more difficult than the fake wall, but it does look more aesthetically pleasing than it. So you just kind of have to challenge yourself there. You just kind of have to be a bit precise. There you go. So yeah, and the next coin, what I did, was I incorporated because before the coin was added, there were these little platforms right over here. So what I did was I reincorporated them into the coin path, as you could see, and I made it so that you sort of like jump on top of them to get the coin. This is honestly one of my favorite coins because it just looks so smooth and sleek, and it looks like it's actually a part of the coin design rather than just something that was slapped together. Now on to the third coin. You might not notice a change at first, but basically what you need to do is there's sort of like a bit more swoop involved in it. There's like a tighter path down here, and then you sort of have to time it. But you can, I mean, if it's better to just shift this half a block, so you have to like sort of like swoop down, get the coin. So as you can see, this isn't in action. Whoops. Sorry if I die here. This is kind of arbitrary, but yeah, you sort of have to like duck down and then swoop up to get it. So yeah, that's Jumper. Now on to Time Machine. All right. So for Time Machine, the first and third coins have been changed, and we'll start with the first coin. So as you could see here, I just added a platform here to add a couple more jumps. So instead of just being one jump, it's now 3. And you do have to time the last jump correctly so you get the coin without dying. And it doesn't really change the chemistry of the two platforms here. It kind of looks like a part where you can't jump, but then you quickly realize that you can jump on it and get the coin. It is still a very simple coin, but it was actually pretty difficult to change because originally I had it where there was like blocks up here, and you would jump on these blocks, and they were like this or whatever. But no, that's not necessary at all. All right, now on to the third coin. Let me just go ahead and go over here. All right. So, for the third coin, what I decided to do was I removed the two pink orbs and replaced it with a yellow one. And if you're wondering, yes, it is still visible, but it doesn't really affect the screen time at all. But players know that there's a coin because there's literally one up here. You could see it on this platform. And I didn't just stop at the yellow orb. I added some extra gameplay at the top here. So as you can see, you fall down, and then you go right into the mirror portal while skipping all this stuff, and you don't have to worry about any blind jumps or anything like that. This is also one of my favorite coin changes. Alright, now on to Cycles. Okay, so Cycles only has one coin fixed, and it's this one. It's pretty self-explanatory. You have to precisely time the ball game mode so that it lands inside this platform right here. You have to be very precise. And then once you're inside, you have to do this little ball challenge right here, if I can actually do it. So yeah, it is a very challenging coin, but that's the beauty of it. And there's no fake walls to deal with. I might actually have to nerf this because it is quite difficult. Okay, I could do this. I could do this. I could do this off camera so much. Why am I struggling with it now? There you go. So that's how you get it. You have to sort of do a little challenge after. I think I might as well actually remove this spike right here. But yeah, and I think actually I might as well shift this over a little bit. Just to nerf it a bit. But yeah, I think you could see, and the original route wasn't changed at all. I actually had to shift this platform over a few pixels, because of that same reason. But yeah, that's the first coin in Cycles fixed. Now moving on to X Step. All right, so the first coin in X Step is unchanged, so we're gonna move on to the second coin, which has been changed to a more pure coin. Basically, you just have to time it correctly. You just do a little swoop, and then you get the coin. Now this actually looks way easier than it is, because it's actually pretty challenging to get the coin. As you can see here, boom, there you go. And while I'm at it, I might as well show the second coin as well. Whoops. So yeah, that's the second coin. Let me just go ahead and whoops, flip gravity. So as you can see, I removed the mini spike here because that wasn't added in 1.3, and I just extended the path a little bit. So yeah, now you go on top of this little platform right here, and you go onto this yellow orb, and there's no blind jumps to deal with, and the coin is still visible. So yeah, that's X Step. Alright, so the first coin is unchanged in Clutterfunk, so let's go ahead and move on to the second coin. So the second coin, basically what you have to do is, the fake wall has been removed entirely. So that's basically what you do. You have to sort of go above the saws and kind of swoop down, get the coin, go into the yellow portal. You can see. So yeah, that's basically what you have to do. You have to sort of time it correctly, or else you might, crash at the wall right here, just like that, or you might skip the coin, or worst case scenario, you get the coin, and then yeah, it is kind of difficult. The start position isn't really helping because it's kind of an awkward start position. But worst case scenario, you get it, and then you crash at this part of the wall. So you do have to be pretty precise with that coin. All right, now for the dreaded third coin. So let me just go ahead and go up here. So yeah, third coin. Basically, what it changed is, as we go in the normal path, you could see the coin is visible. The actual path to go to the coin has not been changed. Well, it has been changed. This is what it is now. So as you can see, I added a ton more gameplay to here. If we could see, if we go on the main path, we can see one of the orbs, but it doesn't really block the gameplay. It gets the player wondering. It's like, how can we get there? And then they discover this. I also raise the path a little bit so that it makes the actual path of the coin a bit more clear. And also the reason why I changed this was because in the original coin, once you hit the blue orb, you had no idea if you were gonna hit the pad as normal, or if you're gonna fly off the map, or if you were gonna hit these spikes right here. It makes it much easier because now you have no choice but to hit this yellow pad. And this is a big and, with the added blue pads here, it makes it so that there's no blind jumps or anything. And with these two, it saves you from, landing in here, and it actually gives you a bit more time to react. So yeah, you have a bit of time here to process that, okay, I'm going into the coin path now. Instead of just being like, okay, we're in the coin path. Oh, I just died. And my game's lagging because I keep on pausing and unpausing. But yeah, so you get a bit more time, and then it's more orbs. It's more orb centered, but it's better than what it was before. It's definitely an improvement, 100%. Well, let's move on to theory of everything. All right, so for theory of everything, the first and third coins have been changed. So we'll go into the first coin. I basically just removed the fake wall and replaced it with spikes. Does give it a little bit more difficulty, but not much. And it definitely looks a bit more aesthetically pleasing. That's all, the first coin. Alright, now for the third coin, what I did was I made the coin visible, as you could see, but I also changed the way that you actually get it. The spot where you go to the coin route has not been changed, but as you could see, I added a bit more gameplay over, so it's not just, you don't just immediately get blasted out. You actually have a bit of time to process that you're actually in the coin path, as you could see from this platform right here. And I think I actually made it to where you could just fall down like that. Hang on, give me a second. There you go. But yeah, I think you see my point. See, oops. So yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, so you actually have a bit of time to process that you're in the coin route, instead of being like, oh wait, what's going on, and the coin is visible, so you know that you got the coin. All right, now moving on to Electroman Adventures. All right, with Electroman Adventures, the first coin is unchanged, so we're gonna go right on to the second coin, which has been changed into a pure coin. You just swoop down and get it, and that's pretty much all there is to say. Let's go ahead and move on to the third coin. All right, so the third coin actually used to be easier than the normal route. Now I changed that. So as you can see, the main path has these spikes right here, and you have to go up to get it. But with the second coin, you can just go through, and you got it. With this one, you actually have to precisely click over here. You actually have to get up top here, and then immediately click after. And you have to click quite a bit more times, actually, than what you would do in the normal path. So as you can see, if we don't click, we die. So we have to actually, get up top of the platform here. And a bonus, these spikes are invisible, so it makes it even harder to see. It's sort of like the second coin in Club Step, basically. And the clicks in the coin route are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's one more click than in the normal route, and it's definitely one of my favorite changes. There are a lot of changes that are my favorite. Let's move on to club step now. All right. So for club step, all 3 coins have been changed. So we're gonna go over the first one. So for the first one, as you could see, we'll go over the main path first. So the main path actually has been changed. I feel like this is one of the only coins that I actually had to change the main path because because it was so hard to fix the coin without changing the main path, because all the other iterations that I did ended up changing the main path. So yeah, let me just go ahead and do a quick rundown of the coin path. So basically, what we do is we hit this yellow. Oops, sorry about that. So basically, we hit this yellow orb, time our jump correctly, and then we hit these. We time our jump correctly on this platform, jump through these 2 saws onto this blue pad, and then we jump onto these 2 platforms and get the coin. It actually reminds me of the second coin in Power Trip. No, wait, the first coin in Power Trip. We'll get to Power Trip later, of course. But yeah. So that is Clubstep's first coin. Now for the second coin, just go ahead and go over here. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so let's go ahead and go mini. So basically what I did for the second coin was I just added a bit more spikes here, and I actually made it so that you can't just click over and over again. You can't just, yeah, you actually have to have some skill involved here. These are actually supposed to be invisible. Somebody requested that they be normal spikes, which honestly I'm not really a big fan of, because it kind of ruins the difficulty of it. But it is definitely harder than the main path. And as you can see, I actually made the actual parts here actually visible, so that's a bonus. And now for the third coin. Okay, yeah, it is mini. Okay, so what I did for the third coin was, it's pretty self-explanatory. I removed the little fake wall segment on this clipstep monster right here, and just made it so that you would go between these 2 saws and go under this little straight file looking thing, under this clipstep monster, get the coin, then swoop back up. It definitely looks a lot cleaner this way. And the way to get the coin isn't as awkward as the original coin was, because with the original coin you have to sort of time your jump like that, but with this you actually can fly down, and there's a bit of challenge in there involved. It's just a much cleaner, sleeker looking design. Alright, now on to electrodynamics. Alright, so all 3 coins in electrodynamics have been changed, starting with the first one, which is basically I just added an extra saw blade. So as you can see, you have to have an extra jump here. It's a pretty precise jump, but it isn't really that difficult, and you get the coin. It is actually a lot more satisfying to get the coin this way, because you actually have to time it correctly, just like that. And what I really like is that the coin is in place of one of the saw blades, as you could see. So it looks like the coin has actually replaced the saw blade, because the saw blade got into the wrong way. Alright, now moving on to the second coin. Ooh, well, that's convenient. Whoops. Alright, so for the second coin, I might have to... So yeah, basically, you still skip the yellow orb, but instead of going through a fake wall and all that stuff, you go onto here, you jump, and then jump onto this platform right here, get the coin, and then go onto the main path. Definitely a more cleaner approach, and you do have to time it correctly because if you don't, then you're gonna hit the yellow. Then you're gonna hit the yellow orb. You have to sort of time your jump here correctly because you can buffer the click and hit the yellow orb just like that. And you also have to time it correctly again because if you hit this, if you go too late here, then you'll end up going back onto the main path and not get the coin. And also, just to test, if you just hold there, you're gonna die. So you have to sort of time that jump correctly, and it's definitely a bit cleaner than the other one. All right. Now on to the last coin, which honestly, IMO, one of my favorite changes. So let me just go ahead. Oop, I think is that too fast? Did I make that too fast? Hang on, give me a second. Oh, never mind. That isn't too fast. Okay, never mind. All right, so I think you saw in the test run there. So basically, yeah. So basically, what you have to do is you skip this blue orb, like in the other one, but instead of just going into this blind jump here, you actually instead go on these platforms right here, which look really cool, might I add. So yeah, if you skip here and you go on these platforms, it looks really cool visually. And then you jump, you hit this hidden blue orb right here, and you land on this platform, time your jump correctly, get the coin, skip this saw blade, and then you're back on the main path. You don't even have to bother with the top path right here. And also, if you're wondering, yes, the top path is unchanged. It is all good. You don't have to worry about it. But it is really cool since it fits with the intensity of the level, because it is sort of fast paced and very, how should I say this, like very aerodynamic, I guess. So yeah, that's electrodynamics. Now moving on to hexagon force. All right, so all three coins have been changed in hexagon force. Now the first coin was very tricky because I didn't really come up with a design. Like for the first design, I just had you go up and down and up and down. But as you could see, I actually added a bit of challenge down here. So you have to sort of precisely click here, just precisely click twice, quickly get the coin, and you're back on the main path. It isn't definitely one of my best ones, but it's definitely better than the original coin. So let me just go ahead and go over to the second coin. And yeah, it was, yeah, there you go. So for the second coin, what I decided on doing was to incorporate the slope physics. So you sort of have to time it correctly with the slope. You can't just swoop down and get the coin, because you can't. With this, you actually have to use the slope and get the coin. It is actually pretty insanely difficult, but it does mean that you could actually, use the slope to get the coin. You can see right here. So you have to sort of time it correctly. I don't know what happened there. The slope just sort of like boosted me upward. But yeah, with the slopes kind of throwing you off and stuff, it is definitely one of the most difficult coins on this list of coin fixings. But it is better than just going through a fake wall. But yeah, there you go. There's me getting the coin. Let me just go ahead and go over to the third coin while we're at it. I don't die here, that is. There you go. So for the third coin, simple pure coin. There you go. Swoop up, get it. It is a pretty precise timing, as you could see. I mean, there was like a really tight margin to get the coin, but again, better than a fake wall. All right, now let's move on to blast processing. All right, so for blast processing, the second and third coins have been changed. So let me go ahead and go over them. So with the second coin, what I did was, instead of you just sliding through the mouth like this, I had it so that You actually had to do a little bit of challenge. You could either, you actually have a bit of free will because you could either just do it like this, just do a click here, wait, and then click again, or you could go, which I think is a easier route, and just spam and get the coin. It's definitely easier than just, definitely easier than just sliding through. And the third coin was made with a very, very simple change. All I did was add some spikes, as you can see. And it definitely adds a lot more challenge to the coin than just sliding through, like with the other one. So as you can see, bit of straight fly. And that's enough for blast processing. Alright, now on to Theory of Everything 2. Alright, so the second coin in Theory of Everything 2, the first coin wasn't changed. So for the second coin of Theory of Everything 2, I just made it a bit more visible to the player. So let me go ahead and play it in the actual player mode, as you can see here. So yeah, the actual way that you get it is now visible, which is greatly appreciated. All right, now on to probably one of my all-time favorite coin change, and it's this third coin. So as you can see, I didn't add any saw blades. Whoops. Just go ahead and add a saw blade here. But yeah, as you can see, how you get the coin is, so yeah, once you hit this platform right here, you don't hit this blue orb. Instead, you fall down, hit this blue orb, go on to this platform, get the coin, land on this platform, and then go on top here so you can skip this sort of orb or this pad formation, and then you jump up, hit this orb, and then you're back on the main path. And it looks really cool visually. It's like very sleek and dynamic. It syncs well with the music. Like take a listen. Let me turn up my volume. Take a listen. Oops. So yeah, it definitely seems pretty confusing, but yeah, you could kind of see it. Syncs with the music. It flows really well, and it's my all-time favorite coin change. All right, now moving on to Geometrical Dominator. All right. So the second coin in Geometrical Dominator is unchanged. So the first and third coins have been changed. Now for the first coin in Geometrical Dominator, I removed all the bugs. So the bug where you go into the the right side up portal and you just go into these blocks and die, that has been removed. So as you can see, if you go down here, you just go back into the main path. I think that's actually supposed to be mini. Is that supposed to be mini? I think that, no, it isn't supposed to be mini. All right. But yeah, as you can see, you have to sort of precisely jump here to get it. And that removes the other bug, which is this exact route, actually. So instead of falling down and hitting a blue pad, yeah, that part's still there because you didn't want to fall down there. But yeah, so the bug route has actually been incorporated into this new fixed coin path. So now, as you can see, you have to sort of like make a little jump, like a little leap to get the coin, which is hidden under here, actually. And you go into the yellow orb, and then you go into the path as normal. No upside down ship. There you go. So that's the first coin. And the third coin is actually met with a very, very simple change. So let me just go ahead and go over here. So you sort of, instead of, it's one of the coin paths where the fake wall is actually kind of still there, but not really. So as you can see, instead of just straight flying through, you actually have to make a faithful swoop in order to get it. So yeah, just like that. It is really cool, and it kind of matches with the theme of the hills and stuff. geometrical dominator. Everything's like very wavy. It actually meets with that agenda, and that's why I like it so much. All right, so Deadlocked and Finger Dash don't have their coins fixed, so we can move right on to the 7 Cs. All right, so the first coin is very interesting. So as you can see on the main path, if we pass right by it, we can see that the coin is still visible, even when we're not there. The coin is still visible, and we're like, oh, okay, there's a coin there, and we don't have to memorize it now because it's there. We know where it is. And a really cool thing is once you actually go to the coin path, as you can see here, the path sort of extends a little bit, and it adds an extra challenge because we could actually use the move triggers. So yeah, as you can see, it adds a spike there and shift this platform over so you can actually land on it, because in previous tests I did it to where the platform didn't move and it didn't really work out. So yeah, the coin is visible now. That little light gray patch is added to make it a bit more visible again, and I extended the path a little bit so it's more fun. Now, second coin, very, very simple change. I think this was the change this was all it needed. You basically just swoop up and you get the coin. See, as you can see, it is kind of challenging. Trying to get it. There you go. But yeah, you do have to be quite precise in it. I think Colin requested it for the coin to be like here or something. Also, what is this? What is this? Was this a block that I accidentally placed or something? Hang on. Oh, that's funny. And the third coin is unchanged, so let's move on to Viking Arena. Alright, so this is kind of weird, so I'm going to turn off hitboxes. So yeah, as you can see, I removed the key for the first coin, and I just replaced it with a well-timed, with like a nice little swoop downwards. Do I have ignore damage on? No. Okay. So you just swoop down there, and the second coin is unchanged, and the third coin, I think I just added spikes to it. Hang on. Yeah, I just added spikes, as you could see. Pretty self-explanatory. Let's move on to Airborne Robots. So yeah, the first coin in Airborne Robots is pretty interesting, because it's one of the only key coins that actually kept as a key coin. So as you could see, I removed the move trigger altogether, and I replaced it with well-timed jump. Now, with the actual recovery of the coin, as you could see, I shrunk the platform down to just one block, so you actually have to time your jump, and you can actually still go into the main path, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much all I fixed for the first coin. The second coin's actually pretty interesting because I was actually in the middle of editing it, yeah, this was the edit that I was going for. So basically, you go through this fake wall, and then you sort of fly through these two saws right here, and then you exit here. I think previous testing just had the oh, sorry. Previous testing just had the coin here. It's just a pure coin, and that's pretty much it. So just think of this coin as being here. I think it was shifted a bit, but yeah, it was changed to a pure coin. I don't even know what I was thinking when I made that design. But yeah, let me just go ahead and go over to the third coin. Okay. So what I did with the third coin is actually really cool. So you actually go up here. As you can see, there's an invisible block that pops up. So we'll just go ahead and so you go up to this path right here, and this invisible block pops up. Now what's really cool is that if you go into the main path, The invisible block, invisible block, the invisible block isn't there because there's a move trigger here that moves the invisible block over, so it's there. Sort of like the second coin in Deadlocked, basically, and that's why I really like it. All right, now moving on to press start. All right, so press start. Third coin has been unchanged. So let's go over the first coin. So the first coin, I removed the fake wall entirely and just replaced it with, wait, hang on. Okay, so yeah, I removed the fake wall entirely and just replaced it with this nice little swoop path that you go into. You can clearly see the coin, and it is a nice little challenge. So yeah, it's pretty tight. You do have to precisely time your swoop. But let me go ahead and move on to the second coin, which you could see right here. So yeah, as you can see, the coin is still visible, but it is shifted downwards a bit. But yeah, as you can see, the shifting over isn't as jarring as it was before. So yeah, let me just go ahead and so yeah, the shifting actually happens away from your vision. All the shifting happens over here. So yeah, if you're seeing in the left side of the screen, you're not going to get confused, and you're probably not even going to notice that the platform's changed. So yeah, just look at the right side of your screen while I do this. So yeah, as you can see, some slightly shifted, but it isn't enough to where you're like, oh my gosh, what is going on, you know? And what's funny is that I shifted some platforms, and the original path wasn't even changed that much. I just removed saw blade here. That's pretty much all I did. So yeah, that's the second coin to press start. And now let's move on to knock 'em. Okay. So for knock 'em, I think all three coins are changed, question mark? Yeah, all three coins are being changed. Um the editor does look a little bit different, and that's because this is the only level that I fixed the coins in the 2.2 Sub-Zero editor, because this was made in 2.1. So yeah, my icon is a bit different, but let's go ahead and look over the coin changes anyway. So let me just go over knock 'em real quick. So yeah, as you can see, the coin is still visible, as you can see. But here is the coin path, and this is really cool. So yeah, as you can see, it opens up a whole new path for the player to go through. And it's pretty obvious that there actually is a coin path because of the opacity red orb, as well as the coin there, and the path dropping. So there's a lot of hints, but it is definitely way, way better than what the original coin was, which was basically just jumping through a fake wall. Also, once you go through this path, there is an extra block added here because sometimes it would overshoot and you would end up dying here, so that's why. All right, let's go ahead and go on to the second coin. So as you can see, the key has been moved down. So you just swoop in and get the key. Sorry about that. Yeah, basically, what you need to do, instead of having like a very awkward transition to get the key, it's there. You can get it at your own free will. As you can see, the ball part actually was changed, so there was actually a bit more challenge thrown in there. I wish there was a time warp trigger here so I could actually show you. But yeah, you don't need to awkwardly. There isn't like an awkward maneuvering to get the key. It's a bit easier. You sort of have to like swoop down to get it. It isn't as awkward as the other key was. But yeah, as you could see, once we get into the ball part, there is quite a bit more challenge thrown into it. So it is quite a bit more challenging because you can't just slide through and expect to get the coin. There is a lot more challenge though. Alright, and the third coin is unchanged, so we'll go ahead and move on to Power Trip. Now, there is something that I do want to talk about Power Trip. I was not able to recreate the third coin because the triggers were being too difficult on me. So I will show some concept art, but the actual coin route I was not able to make. Okay, so what I decided to do with Power Trip was to do the old screen warping. I decided to mess around with it. So as you can see, normal path has not been changed. It's still the same. But as you can see, if we jump here, if we jump late enough, we'll be boosted onto this platform and we can jump and get the coin, and then there's a little opening so you can get out. So this is it again. So yeah, that's Power Trip's second coin. Okay, let me show the concept art of Power Trip's third coin. So here is the concept art for Power Trip's third coin. So as you can see, we still have the 4 clicks to get the coin. But instead of the coin just appearing and you get it, I instead decided to edit the spider part. Now, without the clicks, you still have to go the normal route, and there's spikes, so you can't get the coin because if you do, you'll die. But if you do, the spikes will disappear, and you can get the coin. Similar to the first coin in Finger Dash, but with extra steps. So yeah, that's all the coins that I have fixed in Geometry Dash. Bye bye. Oh wait, I forgot. I forgot I turned off the shaking things. So, but yeah, bye.